Hi and welcome. This is an introduction to the Ufps asset for creating a first-person shooter with Unity 5. We don't go too much into detail for this first video. I just want to show you how to get started. I have two assets installed, the Ufps and the Landscape Ground Pack. I created a new level called level 1 and then I add a terrain. By default the terrain is completely white, but I use my Landscape Ground Pack to add a texture. But first let's use the brushes for the terrain and add some hills. Okay, that's good enough, and now let's add the texture. I think I will use a rock texture, and don't forget to select the normal map also. Okay, this is the albedo texture. Just drag and drop it into the texture slot. And after that, the normals. Then I set the size to, let's say, 4. Okay, I like the texture, but I think I will set the size to 8. And now I will add the player. Switch to the Ufps, content, prefabs, and there's a folder called players. And now select the Hero HD weapons. This is an FPS player with full body and with weapons assigned. And when you start your game now, you can directly test this FPS player, move around in the environment, test your gun, test the player, and see how it works. You have to move the player a little bit up so that the capsule is slightly touching the surface of this terrain, and that's the correct position for your FPS player. Okay, the last thing I want to show you in this simple introduction is how the player is interacting with the terrain and with the surface. Because when you're moving around now, you don't hear the footsteps, and when the bullets hit the terrain, you don't see any interaction. No ground popping up, no sand, but this can be done by using the Scene Manager's prefab. It contains a so-called Surface Manager, and for this object I can define the texture that I used for my terrain, and then the framework knows which kind of footstep sounds and bullet effects it has to apply for the surface, which is in this case the terrain. So let's use the albedo texture that I use for the terrain here in my Surface Manager. Just drag it into the texture slot, and after that I can define the surface type like rock. Okay, and when I start now and move around, you can hear the footsteps. That sounds like walking on rocks. And if I would change this to sand, for example, like so, Start again. You see I have different effects when the bullets hit the ground and also different footstep sounds. So as you can see, there are many things that come right out of the box, and you don't have to write code or configure complicated stuff to get started with this framework. For testing, there are also some nice destructible crates that you can just drag and drop into your scene. Okay, my friends, I really hope you liked this getting started video for Ufps. This is a really extendable framework for professional games, and in the next tutorial I will show you how to implement some game logic and how to switch weapons. Now let's see how to shoot this. Yeah, as you can see, it's really fun. Okay, if you liked the video, please let me know and subscribe to my channel. Here's the link, and I really hope to see you soon here back on my channel on JNM.